Hello dear traders, welcome to the weekly review of the Trading Hero strategy. This week almost all portfolios brought us profit. Let's start the detailed analysis of each portfolio. The 5K portfolio in the first version brought us 0.2%, 5K portfolio version 2 brought us 0.6%, 5K portfolio in the third version brought us loss of minus 0.5%. We had a technical issue with this account, so the trades were not closed according to the strategy, but we already took new positions and hope to cover these losses in the next trading week. The 10K portfolio version 1 brought us 0.2%, 10K portfolio version 2 also 0.2%, 10K portfolio version 3 0.3%, 20K portfolio 0.3%, 50K portfolio 0.3%, 100K portfolio 0.2%, and 200K portfolio 0.2%. Let's switch to the MetaTrader platform and check all our trades. We are on the Australian dollar to Canadian dollar currency pair on an hourly time frame, and with the gray rectangle we highlighted the trading area of the current week. Each vertical line separates one trading day. Speaking about the technical picture, we can see that the market continues to grow. We have new local highs, but we still do not have new local lows. But I think this is a matter of time, because the global trend both on AUD/CAD and Aussie USD, they are uptrends. So it means that sooner or later the market will break the previous local high. And considering that we have a lot of selling trades, we have a good opportunity to make money even if the market will continue its growth. Because if you check the previous waves of growth, we were gaining a lot of selling positions and then we're making very good profits on the reversal moments. So now we have a lot of selling trades and wait for the market to go down from these levels, or even if it breaks the previous local highs, we're gonna get our money on the subsequent correction. This week's profit amounted to $216, and on a daily time frame we can see that the situation is very interesting, because globally we still can say that we have a downtrend, but locally, or even not locally, but during the last 3 months and a half, we can see that local minimums are gradually increasing. Yeah, we have this local maximum that was not broken yet, but we can see that the market tries to climb up every 1 or 2 weeks. So I think that the question if this level will be broken is not actual. The actual question is when it will be broken. And I think that considering the movement of the last 2 weeks, we can see it in the next week or maximum in 2 weeks. So hopefully this kind of moment will bring us good profits. The next currency pair is the Australian dollar against the New Zealand dollar. If you remember, we made good profits last week, but this week the market was really calm and it was consolidating in a narrow corridor. That's why we opened only one buying trade and we were not able to close all the trades we had from the previous week. So that's why we didn't make any profit with this currency pair. Globally, we can say that we're also in a correction. Yes, somebody may say that okay, we have this local uptrend. Maybe yes, maybe no. So far it's early to say, because we are in a consolidation, and all these trends that appear inside this consolidation, let's be honest, they are not very serious. But we trade on the intraday time frame, so for us this global movement doesn't matter anything. The next currency pair is the Australian dollar against the US dollar. As you can see, our upward movement continues. This week we reached new local highs, but we couldn't hold there and started correcting on Thursday, and now you can see that price is coming back. And actually, if we draw this week's high and low, we're somewhere in the middle, which is not good, not bad. But I was expecting the price to continue its decline, because for the last 2 weeks the attempts of the market to buy were really poor and the selling impulses were really big. But you see, the market found its second breeze and made some new movements that allowed us to open a couple of selling trades and close them on this correction. This week's profit amounted to $150, and on a daily time frame we also can clearly see that we have an uptrend. Let's move to the next currency pair. This is the euro against the British pound. We also continue our growth, and the price broke the previous local highs, and you can see that it retested these levels, and now we continue our growth. We didn't close any trade, so there is no profit this week, but on a daily time frame the situation is really interesting because we are very close to these local highs, and also I'm sure that we're gonna break them, and the next target will be the previous local highs from October 2023. And this means that at this point in this zone the price will be really overbought and the probability of the correction increases. So hopefully it will allow us to close the selling trades we are holding for a couple of weeks. The next currency pair is the GBP against the US dollar. And this week we can see that that downtrend that we were expecting to develop didn't continue to decline, but we can see that after 3 days of growth we got 2 days of decline. So I cannot say that something goes wrong. Actually, I had two scenarios. The first was the continuation of this decline, and the second was a consolidation in this zone. Actually, we broke through the zone, but what is important that by the end of the week we returned to this area, which means that the probability of further consolidation or decline are still strong, and we can expect for the market to move down in the next week. And if you check this level, we have a really strong support here, so this kind of reaction is pretty normal when the price meets these strong support levels. So hopefully next week we're gonna see the decline and we'll be closer to our goal with closing the trades we are holding since April. On the monthly time frame we can see that this month has almost covered the previous months. Let's see what will happen the next week. It will be the last week of this month. I think that we have all chances that the price will move even deeper and will cover this 5th month of growth. The next currency pair is GBP CAD. Here, as you can see, we had a downward movement and the market started consolidating in this range. So here we can say that the forecast worked better than on the British pound. We made a couple of buying and selling trades, closed around $65 of profit, and on a daily time frame we can see that the market was actually consolidating this week. We also met a strong support level, so no wonders that we didn't break it from the first attempt, but still I think that after this kind of a culmination we have to move downwards at least to reach these previous local lows. The next currency pair is USD CAD. Here you can see that we closed the chain of selling trades that we were holding for 2 weeks, and we did it on Monday and started gaining new positions and already closed them an hour ago. The total profit amounted to $215, and globally we can also see the consolidation. Actually, this lack of volatility is the main reason why we do not have good incomes. We make 0.2, 0.3 up to 0.5% because market doesn't move too much. Hopefully we'll see good movements on the next week. Let's move to another currency pair. This is the New Zealand dollar against the Canadian dollar, and here you can see we also had a good downtrend, and to be honest I was expecting that the market will break this local support and will move downwards, but it didn't happen. It reversed the same as the CAD did. So far we can see that we are somewhere in the middle of this corridor, so it's really hard to predict what will happen next. The profit of this week amounted to $340, and globally, as I mentioned before, we have this correction here. Yeah, we can see that the market is declining. We have this decreasing local highs and decreasing lows, so maybe this kind of a correction is just another upward movement before we'll see the next wave of decline, but everything so far looks not to bet, but obviously we want to see the price lower than the previous lows to close the trades we're holding since April. This is all information for today. Thank you for your attention and see you in the next video review.